Hello, Carrots here. Welcome to my first ever Perfect Genetics Challenge. This will be Generation 1 and Episode 1. The rules I'm following are simple. First of all, I'm making a female sim, and she will have unusual coloured hair and eyes. She will have numerous children, or only one, depending on how long it takes her to get an heir who has the same hair and eyes as she's got. All the other traits are randomised except for the dislikes children. The heir has the dislikes children trait, as does the original sim. And of course the heir is the firstborn with the required hair and eye colour. So there's no limit to the number of children she's going to have. She might get it in the first one, but she may have to keep having dozens. And the heir can be male or female, so it is the first child born with the required coloured hair and eyes. I'm going to try to play this without too many mods in play. I'm using 3 to start with. They're all from NRAS Industries, and they are Overwatch, Error Trap, and the Cupcake mod. I've chosen Cupcake because I've put a bakery in there and I have no intentions of allowing my Sims to run the bakery. So if it's going to stay stocked with bakery items, we will need a mod to keep it stocked. Otherwise it'll be just an empty shell of a building. And I want my Sims to be able to go to it to enjoy, have meals there and things like that. Now the other thing is, when she starts having children, once she gets to a point where the house is full and she still has to have more, well then I may need to add additional mods to allow them to have more than 8 Sims to the household. And the other thing is I've set up a separate Sims 3 folder just for this particular game, and it has got no custom content at all in it. However, I do own just about everything that the store ever made, not quite everything, but almost, and also I have all of the expansion and stuff packs, including the Katy Perry stuff pack. So you'll possibly see content or activities that came with any of the various store expansion or stuff packs, but no custom content. And I'm trying to go as mod free as possible, but I still want a playable, fun game, and I'm used to using mods, and I'm accustomed to working with extremely large households. Like, it's not unusual for me to have 24 or more Sims in a household, but at the moment we're restricted to 8 because I don't have the mods in that will allow me to have more Sims in the household. But I can put them in, I've got them, I just have them in a different Sims 3 folder. So that's that part of the introduction. Now, we're going to be playing this game based in Moonlight Falls, which came with Supernatural. And I'm going to make my female Sim now and just show you the create a sim of her being made. At the beginning, the only idea I had had a very specific set of ideas on the colour of her hair. So I did that first, and I actually chose a sim from the random Sims that are available in the sim bin, and then I modified her. But in the end, I accepted her existing traits simply because one of them was dislikes children, and the others look like traits that I probably wouldn't have ever put together myself. So I figured they're close enough to being random, and I could live with those ones. But from now on, whenever she has a baby, we will randomise the traits at birth and then just go random as each level ages up. I've got the weather turned on at the moment because I've got seasons, so it's probably going to be a lot of rain and snow and hail, etc. I get a bit depressed when it rains all of the time, so if it does begin to rain constantly, I will probably turn the rain off at least, but we'll wait and see what happens with that. The other thing is the age span. I have made up a special age span for this. There is no science behind it. It's on Epic age span, and then the actual days for each life stage are: baby is 10, toddler 30, child 50, teen 105. I tried 100, but I couldn't make it 100. 105 was the closest I could get. Young adult 300, adult 450, and elder 364. Now, as we go along, I may refine that a bit, make the elder, adult, and young adult not last quite so long, but I wanted her to have a chance of actually having a baby with the required hair and eye colour. And if I made her very short life at young adult and adult, well, that's her childbearing years. We could go with shorter days for the young adult and adult and let her have a stock up of young again potions. Jury's out on that. Well, I'll think about it. If anybody gives me any feedback of a way that it could be done better, because I've never done one of these challenges before, and I've never actually watched one all the way through either. So I've just come across it. I did watch a few episodes of one and thought that sounds like fun, and that's about it. So when I got my sim into Create a Sim, the colours that I chose for her hair, the roots I decided would be a deep blue. The base, which is the main colour, I want it to be a purple. The highlights are a pinkish purple, and the tips are a pale yellow. And I've got the numbers written down, the RGB numbers for each of those colours, and so I've written it down so I can check to make sure that the air is the correct colours. And her eyes, I think they're the same colour as the highlight, or pretty close to. I didn't actually put the numbers down for the eyes, I just guessed. But they look fairly close to the highlight colour of her hair. She almost had red eyes, but I thought she looked a bit too much like a vampire to me. So she's got purple eyes. So it's somewhere between the base and the highlight colour. Now, she ended up with blue skin, because I just like that really pale blue. It's almost... She couldn't get any paler, but it is blue. And she's got the blue skin, the purple hair, purple eyes, and I also ended up with having a purple lipstick. And then I made her the man she's going to marry. And he has two traits the same as she has. I think they're natural born cook and flirty. And then they've got one trait each that complete opposites. She has dislikes children, and he has a family oriented. That's what he's got. I was very surprised that they could actually get so keen on each other, basically through a couple of conversations face to face and then just a series of love letters. But anyway, it looks like things are going to happen. You've seen her being made and you've got an idea of what she looks like now. I pretty much dressed her in pink and purple as well. And now we will have a few minutes of gameplay. I'm still trying to decide what would be the appropriate length of each episode. I've been considering anything between 10 and 30 minutes. So this episode I'll probably let run for about 15 or 20 minutes. And now I will begin with the gameplay. She had a wish to learn the cooking skill, and she didn't have enough money to buy a cookbook, so I sent her to the library where she read. She also had a wish to join the culinary career, so I let her do that as well. My aim in these little activities was to get her lifetime happiness points, as many as possible, as fast as possible. She needs money as well, of course. At the moment, she doesn't have much. I've put her on a 64 by 64 lot without a house on it, and I used pretty much all of her money on giving her the basics. I didn't, it's just not a homeless mum challenge, so she does have a proper fridge and a proper everything. It's just that it doesn't have a roof or walls. She has one wall, and on one side of it is her kitchen, on the other side of it is her bathroom and bedroom. So here she is setting off to join the culinary career. And I finally remembered her name. It's Olivia. She had a wish to meet a vampire. And then I spotted the man of her dreams, and I made sure she introduced herself to him as well. This is the green man, not the one she's talking to at the moment. This is quite an active little spot. So there he is coming out of the diner. His name is Don, I believe. Don Walker. It's very dark. It's because she's just finished work at her first shift. It must be getting close to 10 o'clock at night. And he's stopped there. He's standing on the footpath, waiting for her to come up to him. And she's exhausted. She needs to go home. But she spotted this gorgeous bloke and she was lonely. And she took the opportunity to introduce herself to him. And they obviously stood in a very inconvenient place, because every sim that came out of that diner stood between them to get into their car to drive off. So this is their first meeting. They've never seen each other before. So there am I, desperately trying to get them to have a conversation and to become friends. Not quite sure what's happened to him. I mean, he's only had a few minutes of game time to do things on his own at this point, and anything could have happened. And I happen to know that his lifetime wish is to be a celebrated 5-star chef, and I was sort of hoping when she joined the culinary career that she might meet him at work, but he turns out to have become a consignment specialist. So we'll have to fix that problem when they get married. I was a bit worried he might have already got himself a girlfriend too, because he's flirty. He doesn't seem to have done that, thank goodness. So she's hungry and she's tired, but she's chatting to a gorgeous guy, so she's prepared to put up with her other discomforts. They do have a small disagreement though about children. Because she dislikes children and he's family oriented. There's plenty of haunting going on in the background. I think she's going to have to go home soon. She looks like she's getting very hungry. They're both flirty. I was really worried that she was going to get robbed because she didn't have enough money to replace anything. So she's off home, homeward bound. See, she's in our house now. It's a bit dark, but as you can see, she doesn't have any walls. She's got one wall along which we have put the fridge and the kitchen cabinets, and behind you'll find her bed and her toilet and shower. It's a bit short on lighting as well. I think she's very lucky she didn't get robbed. So I might leave it there, and in the next episode it'll be morning and you'll see the house actually in daylight, and you can see how much house she doesn't actually have. So she's sleeping under the stars. There is no roof. The only part that's got a roof over it is the bathroom, because it's actually enclosed. So I thought she'd have privacy issues. There was actually no money to do any more, but we'll fix that in the next episode when she goes off down to the beach and tries her luck with the claw machine. She ends up being quite well off, but at the beginning it's very difficult for her. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next episode. Bye bye for now, and happy simming.